Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I finally got my camera working. You know, got a new camera in the mail, so everything's good now. Also, just right before this, I was weed eating my lawn and split my lip, which I just want to give a little PSA before starting the video. I am so glad I was wearing safety goggles. Not even kidding. If that would have went up to my eye, that would have sucked really bad. And you all have seen me with a pretty damaged eye before. What a crazy story. And shout out to anybody who remembers that, right? Back about 3 years ago. If not, I'll tell you in the comment section below about it. Let's jump right into the story. Just remember to wear your safety goggles whenever you're weed eating, ever. That really saved me up. It busted my lip pretty good, so if you guys see blood, I'm sorry. You know, just is what it is. Anyway, meet Real Schlep, a Roblox grooming survivor turned hunter. Last month, Roblox banned him, prompting outrage, lawsuits, and new safety measures. This is the story of Schleps vs. Roblox, So this girl at the Times retweeted. Girl got, I'm not sure. I don't even know. Well, that's, well, I think I may have assumed a little too early. It doesn't matter. They are doing a service. You know what I mean? So whatever they are, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. This person's clearly against, grooming. A+ in my book. You know, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I just, you know, when you see a picture that far away. Anyway, so Schleps was featured in the Times again. Schlep, if I'm saying that right. Roblox responded again, okay, claiming that I'm taking the law into my own hands. This is crazy. He only gets responses from Roblox when a piece of mainstream media covers him. That's when he gets noticed. And they start dragging his name. This is insane. This is entitled. This is ridiculous. Okay? Completely. Do I have to be over here for the... Oh, okay. Apparently going away from my camera gets me... Alright, whatever. Mirrored. Getting used to that again. Anyway, I talked to law enforcement who watched my videos and said I'm doing everything right. Here's the issue. Look at this. So they get this, and then Roblox responds with taking the law into your own hands isn't safe in the real world, and it's not safe online. That is such a stupid statement, okay? That's why we believe that safety enforcement should be left to trained professionals and proper authorities, not individual users, and why we work with law enforcement to hold bad actors accountable. All Schlep does is talk to these people. He confirms they're doing something wrong, and then he contacts police and lets police take care of it. How is that taking action into your own hands? I can tell you exactly how to take action into your own hands. Especially if it happens to your own, your own kid. I can tell you exactly what to do there. I have the solution myself in my nightstand. And that's how you would take it into your own hands. He's not doing that. Okay? He is quite literally reporting this to police and letting the authorities take care of it. What's the issue? This is just crazy. So here's the full article. I'll go ahead and I'll pull that up here. I'm just going to see the comments here. How many times are they going to lie? He's taking the law into his own hands. Meanwhile, Schlep handing over evidence to the law so they can arrest, the PDF files there. It is appreciated. There must be warriors for young ones, and you are doing a great job. I can't even say this word out loud without... Like, YouTube just reads the freaking transcripts now, and whatever words I say, it depends on how well they're going to promote the video. This is getting daunting, I could say. It's getting really, really daunting. Oh, geez, this camera's not quite lined up right. Whatever. Anyway, imagine if these people knew that there's an army of users posing as young ones. They'd move to another platform, and that would mean, for Roblox, a loss of users and a loss of a lot of money. Yeah, I guess they're probably... I wonder, because these kind of sick people probably spend all of their money on this game. And they probably have data showing that these people spend so much more than the average user that, obviously, it would be a major loss for them and probably their investors. This is just absolutely disgusting. It goes to show that our government has allowed this kind of behavior and has not put any checks or balances on it. We've not seen the FBI truly really getting involved that much, it seems. The government is finally starting to kind of get investigating this, but there's not really a whole lot going on at the moment. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. I hear that the government's going to start probing into him and suing him and stuff, but I thought things would be moving along a little bit quicker than this. I'm glad that they're getting on it now, but it doesn't excuse the past 10 years where we have known about this. I've known about Roblox for a long, long time. Stay off Roblox. It's not a good place. They don't have very many good games anyway, and I really didn't think they were that popular. I know young kids were playing it, but then I learned of the dangers pretty quick before I even had kids. So it's just like, yeah, just don't go on Roblox. I just thought the game would die off. I thought it was a garbage, free-to-play game on a web browser. But apparently not. Apparently it's very Minecraft-like. So, I don't know. I need to probably make an account and just see how many guys I could find on there. That'd be interesting. Tell me if you guys would be interested in me live streaming, capturing people, or catching people on Roblox. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Definitely comment down below for that. Because I'll do it. I will live stream playing Roblox. Absolutely. At this point, this is like defamation because they're still calling you a vigilante. And also calling you a predator. Which is, well, they're calling him a predator hunter, but, you know, I think that's different. Which is an insult knowing that what you're doing is the right thing. Did they call him an actual predator, though? I'll have to double check. Police officers does the same thing. Good grammar. The feds does the same thing. You mean do. Oh, no, okay. You just repeating the same thing over, gang. Hope you still win the suit, though. Okay. Repetition is not bad. It's not bad. Okay? He's still catching people. They're still trying to ban him. They're still doing things. It's a cycle. Sure. But it's not a bad thing that he's repeating himself until this gets noticed at a much greater scale. I see no problem with that, you know? Taking the law into your hands, do they understand what they just wrote? But anyway, let's see. So, a player called Schlep gathered evidence against the people on the site and shared, well, if you can call them people, shared his feelings with 1.4 million followers on YouTube until Roblox banned him. Sorry, guys, it's bothering me. If your child spent the summer playing Roblox, they are not alone. It is the most popular game for British under 12s and played by 380 million users worldwide every month. But the ultimate virtual universe has a more sinister side. That means that they probably have 1 billion users over. You know, that's wild. Fresh lawsuits in the United States allege it is a hunting ground for these predators, following a string of convictions in the UK for these people-ish. We'll call them people-ish. In one case, a Welsh lawyer groomed, holy shit, a lawyer, 146 of them. That's, wow, through the site. He got 146. Let that sink in for a second. That's terrifying. If you let your kids play Roblox, you're just a bad parent at this point. Unless you figured out how to put it on a private server. The bulk of the exploitation in the British criminal cases occurred on other platforms or in real life. But the people-ish first found their targets on Roblox. One more victim tried to end the incidents. Schlep, whose real name is Michael, let's dox him, I guess, was targeted, that's how you wanted to write that? Was targeted aged 15 by a developer who found him via the game? That's a terribly written sentence. This is the Times. Come on, let's get a little better with this. You should have said, like, Michael, who was targeted at the age of 15 by a developer who found him via in-game. That's how I would have wrote that sentence, but all right. Now 22, he gathers evidence against predators using, I said the word. Anyway, using the site and forward it to law. I think I said it before, but whatever. To law enforcement and Roblox Corporation. The game's owner, before uploading his fines for his 1.4 million YouTube followers, he claims to have secured 6 arrests in the U.S. That is, I mean, 6 arrests. That's doing something. That's not, you know, getting 146 people arrested or, well, I mean, this one guy was probably, actually, you know, think about this. If just one of those 6 was the Welsh lawyer, he just saved he saved hundreds of victims. Hundreds. Easily. That's just crazy. But Roblox, which says it's the safest place on the internet, which obviously is not even close, it's probably the most dangerous place on the internet at the moment, has subsequently banned him from the platform and sent him a cease and desist letter, claiming his vigilante tactics were against his term of service. So we know all this stuff, okay? I'm just catching you all up for those who, you know, may not have paid attention to this over the past couple of months. So anyway, they got a lawsuit going. They are, where's there any updates if there are? Last month, 2 Britons were sentenced for exploiting, that they met on the platform. Well, check this out, guys. The Glasgow-based solicitor, Sean Hudson, 62, was jailed for 21 months for pressuring these young ones into recording videos in return for Robux. Jason Harkins, 31, was handed a 13-year sentence in Northern Ireland for 15 offenses, including getting physical with a young one, assaulting, so 9-year-old, I'm not saying that out loud, who said Harkness gave her Robux after he let her go and then gave her the Robux at the end? I guess trying to keep her quiet. Owain, is that how you pronounce his name? I would say Owen, but Owain? Weird name. Thomas, a Welsh law graduate, was convicted in 2019 for 146 of them between the ages of 9 and 16. Thomas pretended to be a 9-year-old on Roblox and approached young, bribing them into sharing explicit material themselves for gaming credits. I mean, that is... Ooh, officers discovered 110 hours of footage. This is just disgusting. This is how bad it is. This is how insane it is. And yet, they are trying to stop him still. I understand that he's repeating himself from other cases, but the fact that Roblox here is months in and they're still doubling, tripling down, quadrupling down, it's absolutely insane. So, getting down to here, you know, since January, we've shipped over 100 safety initiatives. Here we go. This is what I want to get to right here. Schlepp said he wouldn't change anything about his hunting tactics. I've never had so many eyes on me at once, but my parents have been very supportive and they're very proud of me, he said. A Roblox spokesman said, safety is a top priority and we have robust policies in place to prohibit content or behavior that may be inappropriate or harmful. Since January, we've shipped over 100 safety initiatives, including the integration of new tools for age-based communications that will help us estimate the ages of everyone communicating on our platform before the end of the year and add additional layers of protection by further limiting communications between adults and minors unless they know each other in the real world. Taking the law into your hands isn't safe in the real world and it's not safe online. That's why we believe safety enforcement should be left to trained professionals and proper authorities, not individual users, and why we work with law enforcement to hold bad actors accountable. They do not work with law enforcement. They don't. If they did, they wouldn't have a problem with what Schlepp is doing. It's completely and totally ridiculous. I am very, very, very irritated at how these owners are hiding behind all of this garbage. They're probably going to hide behind the censorship that Europe is doing at the moment. They're going to hide behind that and be like, oh, well, now that there's a law in place that we have to do IDs, now we're fully protected. And, you know, it was because of that we didn't have that in force. Now that it's law, now we're abiding by that, and that's what we needed. Watch them completely squirm behind that. I hope the law doesn't pass. I hope that Europe gets that overturned. I hope that they fix that. And then I hope we can just absolutely hold Roblox accountable. That game should be destroyed, in my opinion. Not necessarily destroyed, but it should be reimagined, sold off to a different company, and whoever owns it now should just absolutely eat dirt for the rest of their lives. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, guys. If you have any more information on any of this stuff, feel free to tell me. Let me know if you want me to stream playing Roblox, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later.